Hi, I'm Richard Van Donk, founder of the International Bujinkan Dojo Association, where we take you from beginner level to master level in the art of Bujinkan Ninjutsu, the art of Grandmaster Masaaki Hatsumi from Noda City, Japan, the legendary ninja Grandmaster. I've had the great privilege, and I mean privilege, of being able to be a personal student of his for over 25 years now. And during that time, I've developed some really great study materials, and today I want to talk to you about the start, really, where you start. For us at IBDA, or International Bujinkan Dojo Association, everyone starts at 9th Kyu. You start at 9th Kyu and work your way as far as you want to go. You start at the very same Torii gate. Everybody starts on page 1. So that way that someday, and maybe even you, an instructor has gone through every piece and every part of the training that has been done systematic, strategic, step by step, and piece by piece, from beginner level all the way to master level. And this is really important and stuff to us because we want our ranks to be able to have meaning. Now, in your Shodan course that I'm talking to you about today, is that it's a very, very simple course. Not simple in all that's available, because we have hundreds of techniques. Hundreds of techniques. Now, I don't want that to intimidate you, because when I say simple, I mean that's how I teach it. You know, I teach it in a step-by-step, very, very simple way. And I'll get to that in just a moment. The art of the ninja, or ninjutsu as I call it, you know, in simplified terms, it's an art of awareness. But it's also the art of being able to use your body. But it's also the ability to use your mind and your spirit to become the best human being that you possibly become. And that's really what true Budo or martial arts is to me, is to help you to become better, to have better strength inside, to be able to get the job you want, to have the relationship you want, to have the life you want. And you go, what does that have to do with me studying martial arts? Well, really, it's everything. Because the lessons in the dojo are about the way. They're about the do. They're about, it's the same word actually as the Tao. It's a Japanese word for Tao. We study a path, a progression of learning who we are as we practice physical martial arts. We have to open up our hearts and to have the kind of connection with life that's worth protecting, right? But that takes strength inside. It takes strength inside and courage inside, and we're teaching those things in this art. Now, the art of ninpo, or the art of the ninja, quote unquote, is not taught everywhere. In fact, a lot of the lessons that are in this Shodan course, you will not learn in Japan now. If you go to Japan, which, you know, you're invited to go with me or other teachers and stuff of mine to train with the legendary Grandmaster Masaaki Hatsumi, in his Hanbu Dojo, you're studying the art of Budo Taijutsu there. He's really teaching, in his advanced stage now, is teaching masters at master level. So it's very advanced techniques. And you're not going to learn all the outdoor stuff, the stealth stuff, the Gotanpo, or the meditation skills, or you won't directly learn the Kujien, or a lot of the other things that we relate to as ninjutsu. I am teaching you that. When I first started training in Japan a lot of years ago, it really wasn't easy to learn this art, because there wasn't really a lot of books. There wasn't hardly any teachers. There wasn't any DVDs or anything to study from. You know, even after training several years from him, I got some small little thin booklets with the Shidoshi books. He only had 2 or 3 books out at that time. He had the Tokakure Ninpo Taijutsu book, which is like a Bible for his teachers, and I had one of those. And in doing training with him, I specifically went through many trips to Japan. I specifically went through all of the material that he had through the 9 different schools that we train in. And primarily we train in 6 schools, 6 of the 9 schools. It's a lot of information. It was a lot of knowledge and stuff to learn and try to put together. And as I went through that material, I took, you know, and going to train with him, I took and systematized the whole entire art the best I could in a step-by-step progression. I wanted to learn it. I was hungry for the information. I was hungry for the knowledge. I loved it. It was something, not that I just studied, it was something that I lived. Now, the art of ninjutsu really is not easy to learn. Why? Because first of all, there is 9 schools of information. 9 complete schools. Well, actually, there's 6 complete schools, and then there's 3 that have ideas and principles and maybe just a few techniques and ideas in those schools. But even 6 whole martial arts schools is a lot to know and to understand. And there's different ways that it may work in Gyokuru than it does in Koto-ru or in Kuki Shinden-ru or Tagagi-Yoshin-ru or Shinden-Fudo-ru. So it may be a little bit different aspect, a way of looking at the training, because they came from different times and different eras and time in history in Japan. As the arts were developed, there was a different way of approaching or a different need and stuff for the art, as well as it needs to apply for today's lessons. And when I started in the art in the early 1980s, there was hardly any teachers anywhere, and there wasn't as much even known by those teachers, so that made it even more difficult. So I got the opportunity to go to Japan to train with the Grandmaster, and it was just miraculous training, And, I could tell you more about that, but I'm really just gracious to be taken in by him and other Shihan teachers, and to be really the art shared with me. And because, I was consumed with it. I was consumed with every part of learning it. I had already had belts in other martial arts, and I really wasn't concerned about ranks at all. I just wanted to learn. I just really wanted to learn. When I got off work, as soon as I could get off whatever that I was doing, I'd have friends that I'd meet at a park and meet anywhere in a building. Didn't matter. We wanted to climb on top of things. We wanted to throw ropes up in trees and climb up in the trees. We wanted to do stealth. We wanted to climb. We wanted to go into bushes and seeing if we could be seen by the other person. We wanted to scout out things. Of course, we did all of the physical, taijutsu and avoiding punches and kicks, and then we played with weapons and everything. Even if we didn't know what we were doing, we'd just sling that bow at each other and get out of the way, and that was the basic training. And I would go to Japan and I'd learn a bunch more techniques, and we'd add that to the curriculum. And then I went, gosh, as I looked at it after a couple of trips to Japan, I decided to go back really, really prepared. During the times when I wasn't there, I wrote all these notes out. I wrote everything I could on every time I went to Japan. I wrote down everything I could possibly do and started building notebooks and stuff because I really wanted to learn it. I wanted to learn it right. And it was very difficult because each time I went to Japan, they taught other stuff. And it was, it's just continuous in a dojo. And I just kept dropping into the dojo. But Hatsumi Sensei allowed me to ask him all these questions and answer my questions for me. Same with a couple other of the Shihan teachers. So I would make these lists of whatever I didn't know or I needed clarification on the basic techniques, the fundamental or advanced things, and I would go through them, and they would teach them to me, and then I would head to the park the very next morning, and I'd film all the stuff so that I could go back home and study all of the information, work on it with other students and friends. And then we would have more questions, and I'd make those questions, and as soon as I was ready, I'd head back to another month or a couple of weeks in Japan to train again, and I kept doing this for a lot of years. Well, all those notes end up becoming courses. They became first they just really became just a study kind of manual, and grew from 20 pages to 50 pages to 80 to 100 and something, and the new Shodan, just the BlackBelt manual, is 285 pages, which I'll share with you pretty soon here. And, and into DVDs, because we kept filming it and refining it, and I kept refining it in the dojo. On the Shodan course that I'm talking to you about today, on the Ninjutsu BlackBelt home study course, that progression happened in the development of that over a 7-year period of time. Going back and forth a couple times a year to Japan, and through my training notes and teaching it in a dojo. That was after I got a dojo and trained in the dojo with each of these pieces and principles, teaching students in a way that I took the techniques and I moved them so that there was an easy study progression, so that I know it works, because I took students from beginning level all the way to black belt through the course. I know they did it. I allowed some people who were training with me that couldn't finish up the training because they had to move away, because I lived near a university and taught at a university, and then they would maybe even get a black belt or close to it, and they would travel away. So I made these tapes of the training, from the ninth kyu to Shodan and this progression, and they would study it and send me back questions, and I would just keep refining it and moving techniques so that we had a really solid curriculum. It wasn't just made up one day and filmed in a few hours and then sold. No, this course has a about 25-year history. 25-year history. I mean, I got my 5th degree black belt from Soki Hatsumi, passed the Godan test in 1986. Can't believe it. And now I have a 15th degree black belt from him. It's like, what the heck is that? Why I say that is because I really only got the levels by just keep training. I just kept training, and I'd train for a while and I'd be given this other piece of paper. Train for a while, given a piece of paper. I just love to train. Then students came and the students grow and the thing grew and, we started offering it to other people because ninjutsu is hard to find. There's not a good teacher around everywhere. I mean, there are some teachers around more of the world than there was when I started. There wasn't any really, It was like the 9th person outside Japan to pass the Godan test or something like that. So there wasn't many teachers, but there was a whole lot of interest. And there still is today a lot of interest in a lot of places where there just aren't teachers. This course, I'll tell you, has helped every student. I don't care if they have a teacher or they don't have a teacher. Whoever has this course, even my students in the dojo that train with me in the dojo 3 or 4 times a week, the ones who have the home study course did better than the ones who didn't have it. Because if you have a teacher and the course, you get to slow down the motion. If I do this, you're going, what the heck just happened? But if you just see something in slow motion, you go, oh, because you can rewind everything if you need to. And you can look at it. You can study it. I designed this course for beginner to black belt in a progression and a step 9th kyu to 8th kyu. I wanted every kyu level, every level, 9th kyu is the first and goes 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th until 1st, and then it's Shodan. I wanted everyone to be progressive. I wanted to be strategic. I wanted you to be able to in 9th kyu, I teach you, listen, I made this simple for you. I did as best I could. I took it into the no mind, you don't need to know anything. If you're an advanced martial artist, you may go faster. Your other martial art may help you, it may not. I want you to go back. Ninjutsu is about natural movement. I teach you how to stand natural in Shizen. And you just learn to stand, and then you learn to bring a hand up. Now you can easily do that. And then the motion, maybe this hand goes up and this hand goes up. And then I teach you to bring them both up at the same time. Now, it may seem simple. It is. And then I teach you how to step back. And then I teach you how to refine that posture. And then once you know how to do that and move into the posture, then I'm going to teach you maybe a little movement. So you know that movement. And then after you know that movement, then maybe you're going to add another movement. Teaching you simple, falling back, and a simple strike. Just simple drills. Very simple thing. And each thing learns to stack on top of the next one. Just piece by piece. Until later, you're able to take a bow, you're able to take a sword, you're able to move as the progression of the course goes. Of course, we're going to teach you rolling and ground skills. We're going to teach you spiritual practices. Spiritual, I say. So, not religious, spiritual. I want to teach you to meditate. I want you to teach you to be able to go inside, or it's just a closed eye process. I want to teach you to go in and, to merge with everything, with the Creator, with yourself, with the source, right, of your existence. It's part of the art. It helps you to get to free your mind, right, so that you can think your own thoughts, so you can own your own self, so you can be your own person, so you can be courageous enough to live the life you really want to live. And this is really, really important to me and stuff in the training. Again, we start the course with learning how to stand. Then I teach you about properly, how to bow. I teach you even simple as how to put the belt on, how to tie the belt, where your patches go, where the stars go, how every little piece works in a step-by-step, and you go as fast as you want. Now, the ranking, it takes you about every 3 months, because I want you to not just go through the course, I want you to have it in your body. I want it to be natural, so you don't have to think that it's just automatic into this posture. You don't have to think about, do I do this? You may in the beginning, that's okay. It's a progression, it's a way, it's a path, if you will. So then it's just automatic. You don't think about the action that you're doing. It's just automatic. And later the whole body will learn to move and go through the postures in the movement because you've learned it step by step. When you learn the 9th one, you go to the 8th one, you go to the 7th, you go to the 6th, you just keep right going through the course. And of course we have trainings, beyond that. I want to tell you that, it's growing. We now have students. This has grown enough. We have students that have studied this course in over 100 countries. I never would have thought we'd have over students in 100 countries. It's just we started offering and more people are studying it. And when I tell you that this will take you, from beginner to master, if you want, it's whatever level you want to go through. It's up to you, right? I hope you're just loving the art and doing the art, and it gives you great value. And that's the main reason I'm really talking to you today and telling you all about this, because if you don't know what the opportunities in front of you, you may miss something you really, really love and could really change your life, but you don't know that it's available, so you don't, have the opportunity to do it. So the reason I say it takes you from beginner to master is because we have people over 20-something years of experience doing this. We have had 1,000, 2,000, or it's a large number of people that have taken this course and earned their black belt. That's a lot of people. Now, they haven't all just done it directly with me, because I try to get, over the years, I've tried to get them to go study with some teacher somewhere. And now that we have a lot of instructors in IBDA, there's instructors all over the world that you can go to, for your testing, for more training. They have camps and seminars, and of course we have taikais, and at least once a year, and seminars that you can go to and stuff as well, where you can train with me personally. But it's out there. The art is growing, and maybe one day you'll become that instructor. We have a whole instructors course. You can go as far as you want to go, because we've had. To become an instructor, at least 500 people have gone through that have started with this course are now 5th degree black belts. That's got to tell you something. Several hundred people have gone all the way to 10th degree black belt with Soke Hatsumi that started with the black belt home study course, just with that course. I know it works. In fact, there's over 12 people that are now 15th degree. The highest ranking is like 5, it's actually really 10th dan, and 5 levels, a progression of that is labeled as 15th dan or Jugodan. What Hatsumi Sensei says is the true Shihan that are kind of really going to represent the art when he goes. And I'm sure he'll probably have a successor too, but that's his business. And so having that many people even go to that level, I can honestly say that this course can take you, and all the rest of the information that I have available for you can take you from beginner to master. There's just no question about it. Why? Because we've done it. If others can do it, you can do it, because it's step by step, and it's easy, and it's strategic. Okay? So I really, right now, would like to show you what's inside the course. Okay? I've been talking about it too long. Just excited about it. I'm sure you can see my enthusiasm on it. So let's show you about what's inside the course. Okay? All right. I want to show you what's inside the course. But before I do, I want to remind you that everyone in IBDA starts right here. Starts beginning at 9th Q. We have a whole entire journey, all the way to as far as you want to go. Your very first journey with us is to earn your Shodan, your 1st degree black belt. It's called a first dan with us. Everybody starts on the same page. That way, someday, if you decide to become an instructor, or you go to any IBDA instructor, and that's IBDA instructor, anywhere in the world, they should have gone through and they should know this information. They've got to be certified in this information, or they're not an instructor yet with us. This is great. It means you can go anywhere and they will be able to teach you the information that's in this manual. And later, even after you finish learning this can be your own study guide to help you to be able to share and to teach with students someday. You may want to just share this with your son, with your daughter, with your wife, with your family, or whatever. That's really great. You're welcome to do that at any time. Ranking, though, you're going to have to go, your students or your family, you're of course going to have to get certified to do that, which is understandable. So, because we want to have a quality to it. So I'm really happy to show you what's inside this course. I want to let you know that you're going to go step by step, that there's 10 DVDs, 10 main DVDs going through every level, through 9th Q, 8th Q, as I said, step by step. How do you stand? How do you put your belt on? How do you move? How do you go to the ground safely and effectively? How do you roll? How do you punch? How do you take care of your body? It's really important. It's on 9th Q. It's on how do I take care of my body so that I'm always healthy throughout my rest of life. How do I really stretch easy and effectively in what we call Junan Taiso? In 8th Q we start adding things like weapons, so you're starting to study the Hanbo, and every Q has a weapon. You start with short weapons and then go to longer weapons so that you're learning the weapon as you start. You don't have to wait to some really long level. You teach new easy things and striking things and holding things and moving with stuff, very simple things through 8th Q. And again, it's just a progression, step by step. Then you go into 7th Q, it's just a little bit more advanced. It steps up a little bit, but it's taking the information from 9th and 8th, and you use that in 7th, and then you add to it in 6th, and you do things with ropes and chains, and later with swords and bows and all kinds of cool stuff, and then against each other and all the rest of it, little two-partner type drills, and it's just very, very easy and simple things, individual things as well as partner stuff. And you go through all these DVDs in a step-by-step. You can always pop it in, always train it. It's in a very simple, here's how you stand, here's how you do it, lesson where you can slow motion, you can rewind it, you can fast forward, you can do anything you want, you can pause, you can play, do it right along with me. I want you to just to master every level, especially the beginning things, because everything builds off of those foundations. We always are going to go back to the basics of what we call the Kion Happo and the San Shin. They're probably maybe the roots and cores of all martial arts. Was stated by Grandmaster Hatsumi's teacher, Sensei Takamatsu, and I call him Sensei just out of respect. There's also a Japanese pronunciation CD that's done by Shihan Lendevan Dog, and we went through all the terms, all the major terms that are used, from the bowing, things of bowing in, and what to call a sensei, and all of the, what's a posture is called a kamae. And instead of looking and reading and go kamae or something, like some people, you may have a different accent, so it's kind of hard to pronounce it. Well, with this, you have a CD that you can listen to over and over again. Feel free when you buy this to rip it to an MP3 and to put it on your iPod or player or whatever, and just listen to it all the time. Get the terminology down. Sure, we teach you to learn the Japanese things because it's part of the art and it feels great. And if you ever walk into a dojo and somebody's saying, I'm going to be doing mushidori or hurejimi ashiori or just some kind of term like that, you're going to know what that is and means, where even some other instructors may not, because it's not required. And don't get intimidated by it, because you're studying each cue about 3 months at a time, and you're going to learn a few words at each time. And what's cool about that is over a couple months you can learn the words, and because you're using them in the training, it makes it easy. This is just a way of going through it all and learning the right pronunciations. It'd be like it's a call response. She'll say, onegai shimasu. She'll teach you what that means. She'll go onegai shimasu, and you can say onegai shimasu back. It's just very, very invaluable. There's a DVD here on the IBDA opportunity, explaining more what all of it's about, from your progression to become, from a Q to a Shodan to becoming a teacher, and your Godan and Judan, and the whole thing that we have for you. We have a whole system of study, a whole university study on this art. It's great. You're not going to be limited on how much information that's going to be available to you. You study at your own rate, your own progression, as much as you want. So inside the Shodan no Maki book, which is about 285 pages of really condensed notes of what you need, to study the art, we're going to be, and I'm just going to briefly go through this here, but it goes all the way through to talk all about, who I am and my martial arts history and my relationship with Hatsumi Sensei and the history of ninjutsu, the lineages and where I received the art, and all about Grandmaster Hatsumi, all about the different times and stuff in history, the different schools and things of the Bujinkan, about Grandmaster Hatsumi, about Sensei Takamatsu, just, lots of information, all about the International Bujinkan Dojo Association, what that is, what it's all about, school etiquette, and, what to do if you show up at a dojo, how should you act,
all of those things, the qualities of what a martial artist is. Then we get into the aspects of the Nenpo, of the life philosophy, if you will. So I have a lot of principles on living and bettering your life, and principles of living, and transformational things for myself, and Soke Hatsumi. Then we get into the spiritual refinement training, which is very important, as your connection to your source, how that relates to martial arts, from different breath practices I learned from different masters all over the planet, to many different meditational practices. Even on the DVD there's meditational practice, all the different aspects of the 18 skills of the ninja, about your journey, and how to bow in, and what's the proper procedures for that, so you'll know that when you go to a dojo. All of the whole listing of the different the skills from the 18 special skills of the ninja, which you learn more of. We have all the things of the pictures and stuff of the kamais, and the hand positions, and charts for the body charts for points and pressure points, and pictures of the different weapons that we train with. The whole entire ranking structure, and what you have to do to progress in the art, and how long it takes, and how do you test, and who can test, and why you can test, and all that really important things, including, your guidelines and your forms, and how to do all that stuff, and tell you where to go on the web to actually at Ninjutsu.com to get more information on it. We go through what's really cool. What was really cool is that I took the techniques that are on the DVDs, and I had somebody painstakingly create stills from the DVDs to go in with all of my written step-by-step techniques. I mean, they're completely is written. Even on the Junon Taiso, which is your body conditioning, I teach you by picture and a step progression. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. So it's very easy, including belt tying. I mean, put in the graphics, here's how you tie your belt. If you need to remember that, every piece from every posture, showing it at different angles, showing you exactly how to do it, so that you can actually practice from the manual itself, because it'll give you enough reminder if you've already seen a DVD, or if you get stuck in the manual, you pop in the DVD. Today things are so portable, it's really easy to put it in your device and watch it. And we just go through all the way through, from cue by cue, just picture by picture, aspect by aspect, technique. There's hundreds of techniques, but you only learn one at a time. It's very easy. You learn it, then you move to the next one. You learn it, you move to the next one. And this goes all the way to Shodan, of course. And there's also a complete terminology of the ninjutsu terms, so that you have that pronunciation DVD to look at. But here's a way that you can actually look for the term and go, what does gata mean? Oh, it means one form, or you want a gedan. What does that mean? Oh, it means lower level. Because someone may bring up the term, and you hear the term, go, oh, what does that mean? You might try to look into your technique book, might be hard. You can go to the back, and it's going to tell you exactly where it's at, and more information stuff on the art. And I even added to this for the spiritual section. I actually even added, because so many people have been asking, that I did a 10-page condensed, very in-depth, how to do the Kujien, which is the 9, seals, and the Kujikuri. So you actually learn how to do that as well, as part of the training. So you can see that this manual is very, very comprehensive. This is a very comprehensive course. For a very small investment, you can't even get halfway to Japan, for what it costs to get several years of training. And the foundation of this training can take you from beginner all the way to master. It's an incredible package. I'm sure that you'll agree. Also, you're going to get in the course is a membership certificate and a patch and stuff to put on your gi. Now, this is an annual thing. It's I know it's now $40 a year. It may change, to something different in the future. But you get a year's membership. So you get this great certificate to put on your wall. Of course, your name and stuff will be on there. And it also gives you access to the Ninja Vault, where you can go in and ask other teachers and other students questions about your training. It's really cool. I mean,
It's a great thing. $40 a year. Get to have a connection in the community. Ask other teachers and stuff, and the membership. And if you want to rank with us, we do ask that you renew that every year. And that's up to you to keep that renewal. But if you're going to test, I guarantee you my office is going to say, is your membership current? Just want to let you know that right now. It's very easy, very simple. We want to keep this connection together. We want to grow our relationship. If you really want to train with me, it's really about learning to grow your relationship with your teacher. You've got to come to your teacher. I go to my teacher. That's just the kind of the way this thing works here. But really waiting to be able to meet you if I haven't already. I look forward to that. I love having an interactive relationship with every person that I train with or come in contact with. Now I want to let you know that your opportunity does not end, with the Shodan. It starts at the Shodan. But if that's all you do or part of it, that's absolutely wonderful. As I said before, it's a way, it's a path. And, you go as far as you want to go. You learn whatever you want to. You are in control of it. I just want to be able to give you the opportunity to go as far as you want. I want to let you know that if you want to become a teacher one day, that I have a complete study manual that, again, it goes through and has a bunch of DVDs and several hundred pages of what it is to run a dojo, run a training group, how to get started, how to train in the art. It's just very depth information. You can check out more of it online at Ninjutsu.com. But it's a whole entire teacher's course that I think people should start at about 5th Q or whatever, so they can learn enough information. To become a junior licensed teacher, you have to go through this course. You must pass this course first with me. And usually it's not until NEDON that you get that. But if you take this course, pass a little test, show me that you can, 100-question test, show me, with a little video that you can actually share the art with somebody, I'll grant that Shidoshiho for you at Shodan after you get your black belt. It's really cool. Then you can become an instructor if you want. Of course, it just goes on. I have a whole university course, of study. We call it the Ninja Master's course. So, of course, goes on to the secondary black belt. And you can get this stuff at any time, study it any time you want. That's the other great thing about it. So here is, again, it's DVDs of all the wazes and, another manual with all of the step-by-step pictures and how to train in the Japanese kanji and everything. And, of course, it just goes on into Sandan 3rd degree and 4th degree, and then on up. And your training with us, it's endless. We've got training all the way up. We've got instructors at every level that are in IBDA all the way to 15th Dan, besides myself, so that you're well served, okay? You're well served, and we got taikais and camps and training and seminars and trips to Japan. And, I just want to let you know that we welcome you in as a family and that it's unlimited. I'm not trying to load a lot on you. I just want you to know that your opportunity you can take it as far as you want. You can take it as far as you want. And all of these things started with my training notes. They started all the way back of me loving the art and going and training and looking at the whole art that was not codified. It was all of the schools and information is not put together in a step-by-step fashion. Nowhere else in the world, and no one else in the world, offers as much information as we do that's directly open to the public. Now, are there things that are not in this? Sure there is. Come to me and get it. Come to another IBDA instructor and get it. But I'm going to tell you, this is a lifetime worth of learning that you can do and that you can study. We also, at Bushido University, we also, and through our web store at store.ninjutsu.com, just go to Ninjutsu.com, Ninjutsu.com. Should have been able to find us, probably where you found us here. And you will see that there's an infinite amount of information, not just from myself, but from other teachers and from Grandmaster Hatsumi. We also offer all of his DVDs and books, and I translated a lot of his Japanese works that he's written and his new books, everything, that I can. I've done my best to help support this art because why? I love it. It's great. Why? It's changed my life. Why? It's changed thousands of my friends' lives. And I watched this progression. I watched them grow in themselves as well as in their ability to defend or to do Budo. Again, it's a path. It's a path of awareness. It's a path of building your heart. It's a path of building courage. It's a path of building strength in who you are and convictions to live that great life. So I thank you for listening to me on this, and I really hope that I one day see you on the mat.